I decided to do a doctorate in health science because I was teaching reflexology at diploma level, and over time I started to notice something that really made me pause. When I was reviewing the research literature, a lot of it was small scale and quite variable, and I felt that the field needed stronger, more consistent evidence to really understand reflexology in a meaningful way. At the same time, I was also working with student case studies and seeing what was being reported in practice and in reflective feedback from clients, as well as the feedback from my own clients. And I began to notice a bit of a disconnect between what was being described in the literature and what was being recorded in real world practice settings and case study reports. It wasn't necessarily that one was right and one was wrong, but more that they weren't always talking about the same thing in the same way. So my original intention was actually to design a larger study that could contribute more robust evidence to the field of reflexology. Using my students, I could get a lot of treatments done. But then COVID happened, and that completely changed what was possible in terms of research design and data collection. So I had to adapt my focus. So instead of trying to look at outcomes in a traditional sense, I shifted towards something more foundational, understanding exactly how reflexology interventions are described and defined in the research literature. Because one of the biggest challenges in reflexology research is what we call reflexology can vary quite a lot from one study to another. Reflexology in the UK is very different from reflexology in Taiwan, and very different from reflexology actually in Canada. And if we don't clearly define what is actually being delivered, it becomes very difficult to interpret or compare findings in any meaningful way. So in many ways, my doctorate has become less about proving something and more about trying to bring clarity to how the therapy itself is represented in research.